Hi, guys, and welcome to my live all about the type of connection that women want and that women crave. I want to just really just dive right in because I think it's really necessary that I talk about one of the most impactful things that I've noticed in any of my group sessions, any of my single sessions, but when we go into the mock dates. So, generally, when women get themselves into a date with a man, what happens here is give me one second. I think we're having trouble with our live. One second, guys. All right, we're good. Okay, so what's happening here is many times when women go into dates with men or with if they are going on a date for the first time with a guy and they want to have a connection with them. Well, one thing that I've noticed is when I see these men on mock dates with women and when they're on dates in general, what happens is the woman starts to really desire him more the more that he opens up. Okay. And so many times, a lot of times, men are asking me, but Apollonia, how do I open up? When's too much to open up? Or when do I open up too less? And so on. So here's the thing I want to give you clarity. The type of emotional connection that women want is they want to be able to see that you're transparent, open, and honest. But then you're saying, how can I do this if I've never done it before? Well, I want you to understand that it's not a tactic, right? Vulnerability, emotions, communication, connecting, all of this is not a tactic. What it really is how you perceive yourself from the inside out, plain and simple. And so, well, that's why a lot of my teachings go hand in hand with not only like I'm going to give you tactics and skills or lines that you can use here and there to kind of put into your own story and who you are as a person, but really what's going to and be most impactful for you to get that sustainable result is for you to understand these principles, I should say, and embody them yourself because attraction starts from the inside out if it's going to be sustainable. Attraction starts from the outside and then maybe not really and then gets diminished by the inside when we have an exterior or we're putting up a character. You understand? So the type of connection that women love, and I just had this experience last week on our mock dates for my membership. And we had a woman in there. She was great. Don't know her, never spoke to her before. And she came in the mock dates and went on dates with a couple guys. And one of the guys did amazing on emotional connecting. One of the things that she said verbatim was, if I was on a date with you, I would have definitely wanted to go on a date with you again because I really felt connected to you. You opened up about who you were. We got really deep really fast. I felt like an attraction for that. And then also what he did is he started to slowly bring in some banter with her and make fun of her lightly to get her to laugh. So she experienced different emotions. And also she was a little flustered. She was playing with her hair a little bit. So you can see, and the guy saw this live on what happens. So many times when we think about how do I emotionally connect with a woman? Well, number one is you have to have clarity with what you need and what you want from yourself. And naturally, you can let a woman see this. Okay. So when we don't have clarity with what we want or what we need or what we would like from a woman in our relationships, then naturally we're not going to see this. Right? We're just going to kind of take anything that feels right. And sometimes those things that quote unquote feel right aren't probably the best relationships, period, for us. Okay. And so when we go into dating or courting, what sets many people, including you guys men, apart is that you know the difference between what you want and what you are really custom or that's you probably start to go to, but it doesn't work out, which is the AKA weaknesses, right? So many times it can be, oh, I love beautiful woman. And when I have a beautiful woman in front of my face, I just want to please her and get to know her and get her. But it's not about what's inside of her. Like, what is she all about? Right. So you have to understand your weaknesses too in dating as well. And this is going to help you get clarity. Once you get clarity, what's going to happen from there is you're going to be able to feel confident and balanced when you have communication and when you communicate when you want to communicate with this woman, right? So naturally what happens is she can ask you a question about your family and you're going to basically share something. Maybe you guys have something in common about your brothers. Maybe you have something in common about work or life or how you see life or the last book that you read. And so you kind of dive in a little bit more in there and so you give her an insight of your life. You want to think of it like this. I was telling a client actually in a one-on-one session yesterday was, let's say you're playing poker and you have all these chips. Sometimes what men do is they go into dates or they go into dating and they give all of their chips away, right? They're like all in, right? But what happens is this is great and it starts at such a high, especially if the woman is invested, but this will end up going away. What you want to make sure that you're doing is you're doing chip by chip. Okay, ante up, a little bit more chips, and so on. The hotter it gets, the more chips she receives. You understand what I mean here? And so this is how attraction grows. And with that, when you're able to communicate and find balance, you're going to be able to clearly identify how to open up with a woman and share that emotional connection. 9.5, I should say, out of 10 times, every woman wants to settle down or be, and she will always choose a man who is emotionally stable and emotionally connected, can emotionally connect with her. And that's why I want you guys to join me on my live masterclass, because I'm going to be talking all about this on this Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. It's a live class, masterclass. It's in the chat box. I'll put it here in the chat box. It's in the description box below as well. Excuse me. Let me put that, my notes I put in there as well for you guys anyways. But what happens here is you have to want to connect with a woman more, because think about it. When you connect with a woman more, you're more at ease, you're more at solitude, you're more at peace, you want it to feel like as if this is going at a natural flow. Many times we get into relationships that aren't at natural flows and we're just doing and doing and doing. And why do we feel like we're constantly chasing and we're trying to improve and we're trying to impress and we're trying to do. But actually you have to get out of the doing energy to show up for attraction, period. So the right vulnerability mirrors vulnerability, right? So a woman is going to be attracted to a man's emotions about how he opens up, and she's going to then mirror that as well. And here's the icing on the cake, guys, is when you're dating and you're sharing something, this is also a way that you can test if a woman is emotionally available also. Like if you are emotionally available man, you should be dating a woman that is emotionally available too, because then her communication will be better. Instead of getting in relationships that she avoids communication, she avoids conflict, or she doesn't talk to you and dismisses your feelings. And then you're like going crazy in this relationship, right? So dating is that assessment process. The most important point that I'm trying to make here is that you should always look at how she mirrors exactly what you're giving her. So typically when people share vulnerability with someone or share a story or share something, and I'm going to define vulnerability for you on Sunday the right way, not a coach that's going to tell you, share all your emotions, give it all the way, do this. No, that's not what we're doing. We're talking about regulating your emotions, to control them, to be confident with them, where you stand out as that alpha masculine man and living in your masculine while being able to show emotions and be vulnerable. That's what we're talking about. This is my first live masterclass that I've talked about this. It's Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. It's for 1 hour. It's completely free. Make sure you grab your ticket. It's in the chat box right now. And it's also too in the link in the description box below. So many people, especially people who have spent most of their lives covering up their emotions or not knowing how to deal with them, and sometimes even suppressing them, have the hardest time understanding what vulnerability is, right? And so which is understandable, because many behaviors look like a display of vulnerability on the surface, in which are actually very manipulative and or needy, opposed to being actually vulnerable and speaking from intent and confidence and still being in your masculine while doing this. So it's important to recognize genuine vulnerability. Vulnerability happens in approaching a woman and saying, hello, guys. That happens right then and there. It can be in communicating your clear boundaries with a coworker. It can be expressing your love for someone or something. Being put in a position where you can be rejected, possibly, right? Joining a table of people that you don't know, telling someone that you're attracted to them, and so on. We all have parts of us that do share vulnerability with one another. And so when we do this, the woman will feel more connected and at ease with you. She'll feel safe. People want to see parts of you that aren't perfect. So many men that I coach are always trying to be perfect or trying to put up this facade. And yet I'm like, that's freaking boring. If I was to date a man that was trying to be perfect, I want to see parts of him that aren't perfect, right? And so that can be in sharing a story, that can be sharing something that's going on, right? So, for example, I want you guys to join my live masterclass at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's all about what I'm talking about. We're going to do a deep dive, though. It's for 1 hour. Bring your pen and paper. It's completely free. It's the type of, excuse me, the masterclass is how to achieve emotional mastery for masculine men. And so, going back to what I was saying, is when I was speaking to one of my clients, he was on a date and he was like, I couldn't believe I did this for the first time. I opened up, I always put up a wall, and we got into a really deep conversation. And after that, she started getting closer to me and she was already planning our next date, Apollonia, right after that. It's like magic. And I'm like, yes, because women, as a woman myself, I know we want the moment that we can feel connected, the moment that we can see you a little bit more besides just this is the moment that we can let go on the dates. And especially for this high quality women. High quality women need connection. That is the number one thing that they will look for in the man that they choose. So when we are on a date, here's what I want you to understand. I'm going to give you this example. Him and her were speaking on the date, and he was talking about how his grandfather basically it was his birthday last week, and he had a hard time because she was talking about how her grandfather was sick or something like this. And that's what she was having a hard time with. And she's like, really, how did you handle it? And they got deeper into it. And he's like, at the end of the day, I'm just so happy I got to really spend some time with him and be with him in his last months that he was here. And then he shared a funny story about him because he was very humorous, and she started to laugh. And she was like, it seems like you're really good. Like you love your family. You're a family guy. And he was like, yeah, I am. I love family. Like, that's my number one thing. Like, I have to find someone that loves family too. Like, I will never settle with someone that's not. And then she qualified herself to him, and she's like, good thing that I do. I have a huge family and I love them too. Right. So here's the thing is he owned exactly what he wanted. He didn't tell her that he wanted to be with her. He wanted to be in a relationship with her. He was telling her what his qualifications are for a woman to enter his life, period, subconsciously and consciously. He put it out open on the table and he owned it. And so what happens is it makes a woman, if she likes you, and it's also a test for you guys to do, men do tests too, for you to see, engage her enthusiasm about you, her interest level about you. And so this stuff works, guys. So if you want to get clarity and you want to get deeper with this, I want you to comment who has registered for this free live masterclass. The free live masterclass, if you think this is good advice, guys, I don't give free live masterclasses on YouTube. You have to go to a private platform where I'm teaching you. There's a slideshow. You got a pen and paper. You're going to walk away with so much, let me tell you. And this is honestly one of the biggest topics I know a lot of men in the community kind of push back on, because when we hear vulnerability, we think, oh, men can't be vulnerable. Oh, men can't be weak, right? So let's call it something else, right? That's why I'm saying I want to stop having this negative connotation with that word, but also vulnerability is about emotional mastery. So I'm going to teach you how to achieve emotional mastery for masculine men. This is going to, in this live webinar and masterclass, you're going to get 6 secrets to develop emotional mastery, to stay powerful and in control of your emotions and in front of your dream woman, in front of your relationship and everything. I'm going to show you how to become a man that women desire on dates, who can leave in his emotional control, who can connect really easily. And I'm going to give you a powerful exercise that will instantly change your life and change yourself, how you see yourself, and instantly improve your chances. Obviously, I can't give you one powerful method that's going to change your life. I mean, I'm going to give you a powerful exercise that will instantly change how you see yourself and instantly improve your chances with women. This is stuff that I've used and I've taught so many guys that I have done coaching with. Sign up for this free live masterclass all about how to achieve emotional mastery for masculine men. So we got some signups. I can't wait to see you guys there. Can't wait either. Neil Mack says, awesome is actually strength. Exactly, Donat. How do you say your name? I'm trying to say it in Spanish and it's not working. It's Apollonia. Awesome, guys. So if you're watching this replay, comment below that you've registered. If you're watching it now live, comment and tell me that you registered. I want to see you guys there. Guys, like, honestly, if you are having a hard time opening up with women, if you are having a hard time connecting with women, even if you're great at getting women but can't sustain the ones that you want, this is what you need to do. If you say the wrong things and you try to open up and then you get in fights with a girl or she doesn't get attracted to you, this is the live masterclass that you need to show up for. Because many times we are doing the actual opposite when we're trying to open up to a woman. And this is what we are going to talk about live on Sunday. So click the link here to register, and I'll see you guys live on Sunday for the free live masterclass, all about how to achieve emotional mastery. Much love to all of you. Thank you for watching this live, and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.